Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I just want to give you guys a bit of a fair warning. Before you decide if you are going for the fusion, you must watch this to help you understand if this champion will actually improve anything on your account, if it's actually worth the effort and basically the resource investment. Because to do a fusion is not something extremely easy, right? So I just want to basically walk you through a couple of different things. I want to show you the champion on a low-end build to understand what the champion can do mid-game towards a late game. And I will show you the champion on a crazy build with a 5-star blessing, and we're going to see how he performs like that. I've seen quite a few different thumbnails going around comparing this champion with some of the most powerful Hydra champions in the game, and he's just not there, okay? He's just not there, and honestly, it's definitely something to keep in mind before you are actually getting a bit baited into it. So I want to walk you through the multipliers first, guys, because that's a very, very important thing. So Skorid, the half spawn, does have a couple of issues. He needs to land the hacks in order to basically maximize the damage. If you already have a hex for 2 turns on the enemies, this skill will not get the bonus damage. The problem again that he has is that with the A1, he has a chance to spread the hex, okay? That again can be another issue, because if you have it for 2 turns on one of the heads and by any chance you are attacking that head with a basic skill, he has a chance to spread it on the other ones, which will again block his A3. If by any chance you're planning to build this champion in the endgame, hoping that he will absolutely demolish the Hydra clan boss, one thing to keep in mind is that if you give him a decent speed, a decent build, and he uses the A3, he lands hacks on decapitated heads as an idea, and maybe he's going to be able to use the A3 again in a couple of turns. What will happen if the Hydra heads take no turns, right? The hex is still there, and he's attempting to apply the hex, which cannot be done because he cannot replace the hex that's already placed for 2 turns. Again, he's not gonna get the bonus damage. Now, in terms of multipliers, I'm quickly gonna bring this on the screen. So I was actually talking with Seth about it. The developers even confirmed that the A2 is actually bugged. Some of you guys were wondering, why is he not attacking all of the heads that have hacks? What is it happening with this skill? Basically, it's just an error in the coding. So the A1 has a 3.7 multiplier. The A2 has a 3.8, which will attack every single head when they have hacks. And hopefully, once the issue is fixed, it's gonna work fine. The A3 has a 4.0 multiplier. Now, overall, the multiplier is not insane, considering that you're getting bonus damage and the rest. It doesn't sound too bad on paper, but again, it's nothing too insane. So what I want to show you in today's video, guys, I'm going to make a pretty budget Hydra team that will go on Brutal, and you're going to see how this champion actually performs with the build that we currently have on. I do have a 1-star blessing on him, which is very accessible for every single player in the game. 20 essence and bang, you're buying it. I gave him Nature's Wrath. Now, in terms of stats, I gave him average stats, okay? So like this, all of you guys that cannot build a champion with crazy gear will have a better understanding of what this champion can actually do on your account, because a lot of people are selling this champion as a progression mid-game champion. The issue that you will have when you are at that phase in the game, you just don't have the gear to build this champion very good, right? So you want to understand how he performs. You might be like, Skratch, that attack is very low. Keep in mind, I have my Hydra Great Hall almost maxed, okay? So the attack is maxed, the crit damage is maxed, and the most important thing, the 20% ignore defense is maxed. So if you are able to reach some similar stats with mine, but your Great Hall is just not here, the damage will be even lower, okay? So keep that in mind. In terms of masteries, we have offense and support, Helm Smasher as tier 6. That's exactly what you kind of like want to get on him. And we have a Savage and a Perception set. Not disgusting stats. This is definitely something that everybody in the mid game should be able to achieve in terms of stats. If not, that means that you're not farming enough dungeons, and you should be farming more Fire Knight and stuff like that. But let's head over to the Hydra. Let me just quickly show you the team. We're not going to do a full run all the way to 1,500 turns, because life just doesn't doesn't allow me to spend so much time in Hydra runs. But this is the team that we are running. We have Geomancer, we have Ugo, we have Skorid, we have Molly for provoke and revive in case if we need it. We have Eostrid for increased attack, increased speed, decreased speed, and weaken. And we have Inquisitor Shamael. Now, right here, I'm going to walk you through one of the issues. Again, I was talking with Seth about it, and mainly, most of the people will showcase all of the champions with other champions that instantly one-shot the heads, which means that you're killing the heads extremely quick, which allows Skorid to actually score higher damage because he's gonna hit decapitated heads more often. And that can actually kind of like inflate his numbers a little bit, right? Because it's not realistic for the majority of the people to just constantly pop heads off non-stop, you know? Especially if you're not in the end game. Let's jump into the run. I will show you the builds on the team later if you are curious by any chance to see what builds they have. So we're gonna go probably up to like, I don't know, turn 40 or something. Or we're gonna aim to basically one key the Hydra clan boss with what we have right here. We want to take the head of Rat down. Now, Geomancer is good when you have multiple AoE Hydra heads in here because of the passive, you know. If you don't really have that on, it's not as great, but it's not too bad either. So we have no hacks. He's the only hexer in the team. You do want to ensure you don't basically bring too much hacks either in because again it's gonna create issues for the A3. And that's the damage. 195k on non-decapitated head. This is on brutal difficulty, guys. So the damage is okay-ish, let's just say. It's nothing too insane either, to be honest with you guys. We're gonna see once we get to decapitated heads. Keep in mind, I do have the Great Hall maxed on ignore defense, attack, crit damage, which will boost the stats a lot, okay? So if you don't have that on, you can definitely drop the damage a lot, especially if you don't have the ignore defense. That's the most important thing basically on this. You're gonna notice that our damage won't be too insane. So this skill seems to be bugged. We have hacks on everybody. So if we're attacking one head, it does go to the other ones as well, to be honest. It doesn't seem to be an issue all the time. But from what I understood, is definitely bugged. I know a lot of you guys commented on the previous video that his A2 doesn't seem to work right. So we are at turn 3 million damage. You can already see that we don't have all of the crazy champions that literally one-shot the heads. And because of it, the damage will just suffer a bit in general. And in the way we are actually just ranking up our numbers. So let's put everything that we need down here. As expected, somebody was gonna die. The head of Rat seems to be just too nasty. And we don't have decreased attack in the team. Which is fine. It's not something that we really need. We have enough healing. We have pretty much most of the things in there. So I do want to put an HP burn on the head of Mischief as well. The rest seem to have the HP burn. I'm curious if Geomancer is actually going to make more damage than him. Very curious. Now keep in mind, a lot of the damage comes from the hacks on Skorid, right? So when we have hacks on and when Shamael or any other champion deals damage, you see the red numbers popping on. That is because of the hacks, okay? So a lot of his damage will come from the actual hacks, which again will skew a bit the results, you know. Let's put that on the head of Torment as well. And we got one down. Let's quickly kill them all and basically get some decent damage. I'm gonna save this A3. I want to kill the head of Torment first as well. So we're gonna apply that weaken. We're gonna put the decreased speed to ensure that they're not popping out on us. And slowly we're gonna take the head of Torment down, and then I'm gonna use the A3 with Skorid once we have multiple heads decapitated. And I should be able to wait one more cycle. Hopefully it's not gonna be an issue. We are decreasing the defense anyway with Geomancer a little bit, which will boost the damage. So let's actually attack a head that doesn't have hacks, because we should spread it to the other ones. So we attack two that have hacks right now, which is great. So we're gonna apply defense down. We're gonna apply again, hopefully, if we have the weaken available on the head of Torment as well. We're gonna do it with Geomancer just to have that weaken on everybody. I wasn't sure if we're gonna be able to get it with LS3, to be honest with you guys. Okay, and now is his time to shine. Oh, we're gonna kill the other head as well. Okay, no defense down or weaken on that one. We do have a lot of force heads though, so that is a bit unfortunate. So we have 11.9 million damage, and you can actually pay attention to the numbers on the screen. So this is his maximum damage with the build that we have and the Great Hall, 900k. Okay, and it's not bad, but it's not great either. Okay. Keep that in mind. That's something that I want you guys to see, to really understand if this champion will really boost your damage or will not, okay? So definitely consider it. Definitely consider it. If you actually need a champion, it will be actually helpful for you or it won't be helpful. All this will play a pretty important role, basically. As mentioned, resources are pretty hard to get in general, you know. So let's deal with these ones right here. I will put the burn on the head of Decay. We want to get rid of that head as fast as possible. He's just annoying. The clans, the shields, the thermometer, everything is just freaking annoying. So we're gonna go A3 again. Hacks on everybody, and we got 182k on a decapitated head without defense down or weaken, which is definitely pretty weak sauce, actually. Even if we don't have all that on, it should be a bit more than that, you know. It should be a bit more than that, considering that we had all of the buffs on, you know. But hey, let's keep on going because we still have a bit of room to wiggle in here. You know what? I'm not actually gonna keep you too much through the entire run. I'm just gonna show you the final result. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna stop it at turn 50. The damage is okay-ish. We're getting approximately 1 million damage per turn. So nothing insane, nothing bad either, you know. It's okay-ish. But I want to see his final result. Keep in mind, a lot of the damage will come from the actual hacks as well, you know. So that will definitely change a bit the way we are most probably going to look at his damage, you know. His basic skill will hit for approximately 500-600k, you know, depending if Helm Smasher procs or no. None of the hits went higher than 750k, since the one you've seen where we got like 900k. So he is not hitting for a million with the build that we have on. And we are at turn 50. As mentioned, we are going to stop it right here, and we're going to see the damage. So we have Geomancer with 10.9 million damage. We have Ugo with 3.5, Skorid with 24, Molly with 600k, Inquisitor Shamel with 11.8, and Eostrid with 4.9. Probably out of the 24 million that Skorid has in there, I would say 4 or 5 million is most probably coming from the hex, you know. So either way, it dealt decent-ish damage considering what build we have on the champion. So hopefully this will give you a better understanding if this champion is actually worth using on your account or no. Let me just quickly give you an idea of what sort of stats we have on this team, in case if anybody is looking to replicate it. Geomancer is on a Relentless and Perception set. These are his total stats right here. Ugo is on an Affinity Breaker set and a Perception set. These are her total stats right here on the side. Skorid, you've seen the build already. Savage, and this is the build right here. Molly Tankard on a Regeneration and Perception. Inquisitor Shamael, he's built on mixed sets. You don't need Savage or anything like that on him. Probably he's on a Regeneration as well. And Eostrid, she's built on broken sets. Basically a couple of speed sets, and I can't really remember exactly what. But that's what we have in terms of builds and stuff. What I want to do right now, guys, is basically completely change the build on Skorid. Give him the 5-star blessing that I have right here. And that should give us a better understanding of how well he is going to perform in some of the crazier teams. So right now the stats on him completely different. 5-star blessing, 8.7k attack, 362 crit damage, and I'm gonna bring in some disgusting champions to basically see what we can do with this champion, right? I'm actually going to quickly bring them in the team. So let me just quickly make the team up. So we're gonna run this team, guys. I have protection on Chris. I have protection on Lydia. We have no curse set on anybody. We have Fearwell to increase the damage. We're gonna have buff extension to keep increased attack and everything else that we need. Defense down, weaken, etc. So we should be pumping in almost maximum damage for this team. The only thing that I could improve on this team is to make Lady Mikage, to build her on a protection set as well, 9-piece, to basically boost the damage furthermore. But we're gonna have to make it work as it is. And we are going on Nightmare, okay? This is Nightmare difficulty, as you guys might notice right here. So we're gonna put all of the debuffs and everything else that we need to have on these Hydra heads. All these buffs will be extremely important, guys, because when he gets to hit, he should be smacking pretty hard. Now I have Taras in here because he will assist me to kill the Hydra heads super quick. Once I'm gonna drop in an AoE bang, I'm gonna quickly be able to attack a lot of decapitated heads with him. So all of these buffs that we have on, except the ones from Lady Mikage, will basically increase our damage. Lydia brought in 2 buffs. Chris brought in 3 buffs, if I'm not mistaken, right? With the shield as well. So that should actually help us quite a bit. But let's see. Okay, so the damage definitely looks much better on a non-decapitated heads. We are getting for like 600, 700k per head, which is definitely not too bad. And Taras, bang. What can I tell you? 1+ million damage, because why not? So that's how it's going to work from here on. We're quickly going to decapitate heads. Look at the damage, you see? The Hydra heads barely took a turn, and we absolutely demolished them. Turn 0, 12 million damage. And this will happen again for 50 turns. For 50 turns, hopefully, if we can keep them in for 50 turns. If no, I'm just basically going to have to stop it earlier. 700k on decapitated head without defense down and weaken, not bad. He took the other ones down as well, so let's push in with a Ras, more turn meter. Like this, we're going to be able to quickly rotate all of the debuffs from the rest of the team. And having the buff extension is going to be very helpful too. So we're getting more buffs in. We should have the A3 available next turn. But let's see what damage we are going to deal with the basic skill with a crazy build on him, right? 2 million with a basic skill. That's not bad. That is actually not bad with a build like this. So it seems like he could potentially do some work in the end game for people that can do unrealistic builds, okay? It is what it is. That's basically the reality, you know? If you can achieve such crazy stats, you can expect to have some decent results, you know? Then we still need to use the A3 on the decapitated heads before they are taking a turn, right? So let's oh no, haven't I selected the A2? So let's see on decapitated heads. We have buffs from protection sets, we have increased attack, we have increased crit damage, all of the Hydra stats, everything going into this champion right now should be absolutely crazy. You see, that is my problem right there. While I have this disgusting build, okay, this is a crazy build, he only hits for 2 million per decapitated head with its maximum thing. This is like the ceiling for the champion right here. 5-star blessing. The only thing that can really improve it more is having a 6-star crushing rend. The thing is, I feel like while the damage, if you are adding each one of the heads individually, it will add up to 8+ million, 9+ million on this crazy build, is not bad on paper. The thing is, it feels like it's capped at around this damage. It just feels like he doesn't go more than that. But he's not too bad if you can get something crazy like this on him. If you have a better team to basically help you sustain the rest of the champions that you are using, you know, to quickly decapitate Hydra heads, etc. All this plays a really important role basically. So here we go, 1.5 million with the A2. Definitely not too bad, but you need a pretty crazy build to achieve something like this, and that is the main issue, right? I wish I would have Fearwell in protection as well. That would be pretty crazy, but unfortunately, I do not. Unfortunately, I do not, which definitely sucks a little bit. So basic skill again, 2.5 million. The basic skill seems to hit pretty hard. Very similar with a champion like Ninja in terms of that for what matters, to be honest. We cannot do that here. So we're definitely not gonna go to turn 50, guys, because that will take us quite a bit considering how slow the Hydro heads get to move because we're constantly killing them. But I'm gonna basically try to use the skills a little bit more. So we have no hacks on here, hacks on there, hacks on there. Let me target a head that doesn't have hacks, basically. So we got the other one with 500k down. Beautiful. So now the Head of Mischief is exposed. There is no more Toxic Cloud on the head to basically keep it alive. So we can pump in some damage, you know. I kind of lost myself there. I wasn't sure what I was going to say anymore, but you guys got it. Really a bit of a Black Eyed Peas sort of vibe in there, you know. Okay, so 2 decapitated heads. Unfortunately, they're both force. We don't really have the debuffs that we need in here. Actually, it's not necessarily an issue. They are forced as long as we're not going to weak hitting here. So we have defense down, we have weaken. Let's make sure we have as many protected buffs as humanly possible. And we're going to go in with the 8-3 again. And then we're going to call it a day. The damage is much, much better this time around, though. 1.7, 1.6 million. Decapitated heads with defense down and weaken. He had increased attack, he had increased crit damage. We had a lot of buffs on that are protected to enhance our damage, but it feels like that's where his cap goes. Keep in mind, again, a lot of the damage is actually coming from the hacks. Taras, 27 million, Skorid, 29 with this build. I feel like you could push Skorid, as mentioned, up to like a few 100 million damage on this difficulty. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, if you did not have a chance to see his stats right here in the Hydra clan boss at the moment with all of the ads on, you're going to be able to see them right now. So these were the stats, okay? 9,000 attack, 227 speed, almost 400 crit damage, 5-star blessing, 20% ignore defense on top of the savage and cruel that he already has on. So with a crazy build like this, you can get decent damage, but keep in mind, we had a lot of protections, we had a lot of champions to enhance his damage, and in my opinion, considering all of the things that we made for him to push that damage, he is a bit underwhelming for this build, okay? A bit more than underwhelming. Now, with the super low build that we initially had on, he's okay-ish, but again, not game-changing. So if you have different champions that will land hacks and do a bit of damage, example, you have Maranix, decent-ish. Ruel the Handmaster, much better. You know, he's actually pretty solid. He ignores defense. He has better multipliers. He will deal more damage. Keep that in mind as well. But I don't want to basically influence you guys to do it or to don't do it, because you never know what will happen in the future. Who knows if the champion will become something else that he currently is at the moment. But let me know in the comments down below if you are going for the fusion. As usual, if you enjoy the content, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.